Tea time with Bodyslams.
Tall John, Big
be
John,
honest with you,
Latin John,
To be honest with
Latin
you, Joe.
heartthrob John,
Wait a minute,
Latin sex machine John.
Pretty much, I am the new age shockmaster. That's what I am.
Jump into my mouth, Brian. I'll eat you. He did bite him in the match. The Raging Crow, Justin Garcia. Jonathan Chavez. V. John Allen. Tea time with Bodyslams. A refined look at grappling.
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? This is a
I'll tell you what's up. Sorry, go ahead.
super what's up. So this is episode 12.
Wait. What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
Boo.
You can get with this, or you can get with that. To tap a body slam, now this is where it's at. What's up?
Good
What's up?
shit right there. Good shit right there,
I am-
John Allen.
I am so surprised and so proud that John Allen can do that.
I didn't know you
I've been
could
one-
rap.
Absolutely.
What? Slim Shady's
Been
not
wanting
the
to
only
come out
white
to that
man.
for years.
Slim Shady's not the only white man who can hold a beat.
Okay, so this is episode 12, guys, and we're here to talk
Yes.
about the WWE releases and returns. I know we're a little bit late to the game on the releases, but it's kind of interesting that we wanted to compare who got kicked and who returned. Out with the
Yes,
new
so-
and in with the
so-
old, as you said.
You got that
Yes.
reversed.
Oh, I wanted to. Yeah, that's what we've titled this episode. Out with the new, in with the
old.
the tenured. I don't want to be rude to people,
No.
living and not dying, but they're still around and they're not as young as they used to be.
Hold on. Let me throw in some Sephora lingo. You don't say old, you say mature.
Yes.
You say vintage.
Out with the new, in with the decrepit.
So by all means, let's go down the list.
All right, so the first release that I have here is JTG. You might remember him
From Crime Time.
that racist tag team.
There's
Thoughts?
been a couple. Let me just say this. I might have to use cleaner language because JTG goes to my mall.
Really?
I have seen him there on various occasions.
That is another stereotype, John.
The dude is swole as shit for no reason.
Yeah, he was just training. I saw a video of him training at Santino Brothers. I think with Eli Everfly actually.
Holy
so
sh-
he's
wow.
a big boy.
He's a big boy.
That's actually really sick. So JTG, apparently on Twitter, his reaction was, "I should never have picked up the phone."
Right?
Legitimate.
They finally found him. There was well, let me get this in. WrestleCrap had a hilarious story. They have this section called Headleys where they do makeup news, which is usually funny stories.
Uh-huh.
And there was this great one they had about JTG hiding in the arenas so Vince couldn't find him to give him a pink slip. Like he'd pretend he was the popcorn guy. He'd pretend that he was the janitor, stuff like that.
They can't find me. They can't find
They had one of the hotter divas call him up.
Motherfucking Where's Waldo starring JTG.
They're just like, look. Let's just have, I don't know, let's have one of the Bellas or something call him up. He'll think it's a booty call.
Cause how long was he on the payroll not doing anything? Like, when was his last match before this finally
shit.
happened?
That was,
I think he's done mainly house shows and maybe some stuff in
if that.
NXT, but yeah, I have not seen him on TV in forever.
Like, how long
And-
did they keep him around when they went singles?
They kept him around almost like 3 years or something.
But in the
'Cause
ring,
he-
on the main shows.
He went heel and turned on Shad Gaspar to break up Crime Time, right?
Yeah.
No, it was the other way around.
Oh, you're right.
JTG went heel, but nobody noticed.
Oh,
Nobody really gave a crap about him because
and the crowd went flaccid.
he wasn't getting a push, he wasn't getting airtime, so
Well,
now let's put it. I don't know. Let me put it like this. No one. I think we'd agree. It sucks. Nobody wants anybody to lose their job and lose their source of having an income. But
Right.
do you think this is a case? And we can even go on each one of these. Is this a case where you think he wasn't maybe doing everything he could have, or did creative not drop the ball, or was it really nobody's fault?
Here's the thing I want to bring up with JTG, and this is kind of a thing that's been with most superstars like him in the industry. It's what I like to call future endeavors. And when you're an African American, specifically in WWE, future endeavors aren't very high. If you notice, the biggest superstar that we've had in recent memory was Booker T. And that's as far as it's gone. And Booker T, let's keep like nothing to take away from the guy. That dude worked his ass off since WCW and on. Like he's constantly been in a state of having to prove himself to the higher ups. Honestly, when they bring, I want to say like to anyone who has an idea of going into like the super professionals, if you're for the lack of a better word, a minority, and they want to bring you in as a tag team or as a wrestler who is a gangster or a very offensive stereotype, start looking for another job as soon as you get that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. Because Booker T and Eddie Guerrero aside, you can't just be good. You can't just be great. You have to be fucking phenomenal to be a minority in WWE, and that just says a lot. I believe it was, what was it? It was Kamala who said this. WWE is no place for a black man.
Yeah. No, I mean, just look at, it's unfortunate as it is. They've used African Americans as a source of poking fun at other people. Obviously, you guys should probably know that I'm talking about Virgil. Yeah. And the whole reason they named him that was because it was a way to, Dusty Rhodes' real name is Virgil, and they thought, haha, we named a black guy after you. And then they did the same thing years later where Virgil Michael Jones, the name of the performer, he goes over to WCW, and they name him Vincent, obviously as a slam on Vince McMahon.
Yep.
So, tells you right there just how much respect they have at times.
And it's really disappointing.
With such great talents as, Kofi Kingston, I mean, they just completely dropped the ball with Shelton Benjamin. Sad to say, JTG was a good talent in a place where you can't be good.
How old is he now?
Better than that.
JTG, how old is he? That's a good question.
Like we could vamp while somebody brings up Wikipedia. I don't know. How are things, Chavez?
Things are good, Alan. Things are good. Thank you for asking. Works.
You know what? While you're looking that up, we could go on to the next guy.
He's 29. He's 29. So he's still got a future ahead of him. Still young. Still in great shape. Best of luck to you. All the luck in the world.
Yeah. Next superstar, Drew McIntyre.
He's younger than me.
He's younger than you.
So actually, funny story, Drew McIntyre just recently turned 29 as well. So both men just lost their contracts with WWE, but still have a whole lot of time left in front of them if they want to continue in this industry. Which by what Drew said on Chris Jericho's podcast, Talk is Jericho, he wants to continue. This is his life, and I can't blame him.
Yeah, I can't blame him either. But like the saddest thing about Drew McIntyre was because as everyone knows, three-man band has been broken up, and Drew McIntyre was my favorite member of three-man band because I like the dude's in-ring chops. He's been wrestling for quite a little bit of time, but he wasn't the cool guy. He was like, I never got beat Teddy Long. My record shows you gotta put me in a match. kind of guy.
What was it? I believe he's been working since he was about 16. Like, he's been a wrestler since he was 16. Dude's always been in the industry. Got hired to WWE when he was 21. That says a lot of. That puts a lot of faith. And from what he said, second he got off the plane, he was right on TV under a different gimmick, and then he came back as the Chosen One, which later turned into the drummer of three-man band. Which, you know what? Dude was almost like he was. This is a weird comparison. This is going to be a weird comparison. Because if you look at a lot of his earlier matches, he was almost like a George Carlin in the ring because he tried to never do the same thing twice. He threw out his old thing and he went again. He went straight into it. I believe his old thing was like he was solo because he was so good he could use the ring as his tag team partner. He needed nobody else. Like, that was his shtick. And it showed in his wrestling, and he's, from what a lot of people says, he's a very big surprise that he got canned.
The dude had a good look and he had some good chops. I just feel like, again, wrong gimmicks. And like, I love three-man band, but Future endeavors, guys. Future
I mean,
endeavors.
let's be honest here. As much as props to those guys for committing to being given a shit sandwich and making it work as much as they could.
Yeah.
How goofy and like mismatched of a combining is that? Drew's somebody who I am a huge mark for Scottish culture and Scottish accents and the music and everything. So of course. Well, I didn't think much of Drew at first because I don't know, maybe he was on SmackDown and I wasn't watching so much at the time when he showed up. He grew on me. If for no other reason than I thought he had like one of the catchiest theme songs. God,
that song
out
is
of
on my
time.
phone.
So say goodbye. That one.
That song is on my phone. That song is what I listen to when I'm lifting weights.
Nice. Good choice.
Me and a friend of mine, Nicole Brokaw, like we'd just go back and forth. Like when one of us would finally get out of our heads, the other would go back and like hum it or sing it or post a YouTube link, and it's like goes right back in. It was very catchy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I got to mention this too. One more subject on Drew is I had the chance to speak with Roddy Piper not too far back, about a week or so back, as he was in San Diego for House of Hardcore.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, he'd actually, he's like, oh, it's such a shame, because he'd actually wanted to come in and work a program with that guy, either as a manager or as some sort of an opponent, something like that. And they obviously played up on that on the video game WWE All-Stars. So I think that's maybe...
Right.
I don't know who put the idea in whose head, if like Roddy had the idea because of the game, or Roddy had pitched it and they put it in the game or whatever. But man, that could have been fun. I mean, he got, I think, a good rub, which maybe was too much too soon with Vince calling him the chosen one and sort of the next big thing. But who knows what would have happened if you'd paired Roddy with him. That could have been a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
I would have watched the hell out of that.
He is someone whom that is a real disappointment for me that they kept Heath Slater, but they got rid of fucking Drew McIntyre.
See,
that pisses me off.
I like Heath Slater. What pisses me off, they kept Hornswoggle.
Yeah, what the fuck? How is that a thing?
They kept
How is he
Hornswoggle.
not fired?
And they've been getting so much heat from a lot of organizations, little people organizations, especially off of the WLC match. Which apparently El Torito made it a great match, but at the end of the day, a lot of little people organizations been saying, like, you're making fun of us.
Well, yeah. They're not
Like you're
saying
not, like, you're literally not taking us seriously.
this isn't Mexico where
this
midget
isn't-
wrestling is a complete legitimate thing.
Like, these guys wrestle with everybody and they take no prisoners. WWE's just treating it like a joke. It's just one of those things. Sad to see him go.
All right,
Yeah,
Jinder
no
Mahal.
disrespect to anybody else on the list. If I could bring back one, it would probably be Drew. Moving on to Jinder Mahal.
Jinder Mahal. So the other member of Three Man Band.
The backup singer, so to speak. I won't call him a bass player because I actually like bass players.
He didn't have a fucking chance. So.
They bring him in as basically like a guy who's going to use Khali to get the title. Nobody responded, so he was instantly squashed. Like, literally, that's what happened. He was brought in to be like a rich guy from India that Khali's family's indebted to.
Yeah.
And it did not go over with the fans. Like, they tried for, I want to say, about a month and a half.
It doesn't really resonate. I'm reminded of Tiger Ali Singh, who you might remember somewhere around the Attitude Era they brought in and just didn't really connect with people, unfortunately.
Well, the thing about it is, like, just because you bring in a person who's not a standard American whatever, like you bring in some dude straight out of whatever other country, doesn't mean you have to saddle them with the, oh, I'm a rich prince from India, or oh, my father was a samurai, or I'm a triad member. It's like... the gimmicks are comical. You're not giving the dude a chance to do anything because nobody's going to respond to him at any point.
Nobody takes it seriously. That's just the way of it.
Well, typecasting breaks you in. I mean, it's the obvious choice. And if somebody hasn't developed a personality or a character yet, it's what else are you going to do? You're going to just have him come out there and be in tights and do nothing? I mean, it's, at least he's doing something. And plus, sometimes it has worked. I'm also at, Tiger Ali Singh was an example of one that just didn't quite take off. One that did for a while, I thought, was Muhammad Hassan. That was a character. Yeah, that character had layers to it, where he was from Detroit, but embraced his heritage, and they eventually dumbed it down to just being a terrorist, and then that got him kicked out of the show.
Yeah, no shit. When he fucking came out and attacked Undertaker with literally a bunch of insurgents.
And what happened was they filmed that episode a few hours before the UK bombings, the UK subway bombings. So what happened is that
nice timing.
UPN freaked the fuck out. Apparently, Hassan was supposed to get a bit of a run with the title. He was supposed to get a bit of a run with the title and be like they were trying to groom him to be the next big heel. And so the second that happened, plans changed. He got his ass whipped by Undertaker, never seen again.
Yeah, that was sad again.
It's a shame because very much like a lot of people on this list, a lot of great in-ring skill. He had a good look to him, good on the mic. Just sad to see him. Jinder Mahal, just not the right time for you, brother. I hope nothing for the best for you.
Best of luck.
All right, next up, and this is the opposite of your argument of good talent. This is someone who has no talent, Oksana. Thank you.
Nuts to you guys. Gorgeous. I'm going to take back what I said about Drew. I'm going to take back what I said about Drew McIntyre, because if you punch Oksana's name on Google, you get some interesting photos, so I'd probably bring her back.
God damn it, John. Okay.
Well, actually,
I'm going to make one point.
Hold on, now I'm doing it.
Fine, you can look up your porn, okay?
I will. Thank you very much. Mind you, there's some weird stuff
gorgeous.
on my search history, but don't you mind that.
Anyway,
had such had a sexy accent. Just it was the kind of person who I didn't pay as much attention to the Divas match, or I was missing shows. Period. And I saw her and I was like, who is that? Just finally a different look other than just blonde.
No, but I mean, you're absolutely right in terms of, yes, she's a different look, but she had no in-ring ability. She's injured way too many Divas to count, including, Naomi. Freaking knee to the eye?
Yeah, she broke her orbital bone. It required surgery. It actually completely ended Naomi's big push, because at one point Naomi was actually going to be the one to take away AJ's title. From what I read in the dirt sheets, that was the entire plan.
Now,
so have her be a valet.
Okay.
She doesn't have to wrestle.
No,
you know what? I agree with you.
Truth.
We actually we have a very shortage of valets, except for who's the girl that's with Rusev right now?
Lana.
But you're right. No, we don't have a lot of valets, and we also don't have any, to my knowledge, female managers.
And you know what, Oksana, she's from the Ukraine. If anything, bring her in with Rusev anyways. I mean, there could have been a couple things done with her, but you know what, she just didn't. To us, she never showed any real in-ring chops. She was no diva is a bad looker, let's put it that way, because from another thing I've read in the dirt sheets, apparently the person who is looking out for divas now or at least a few years ago, was just going through the Victoria's Secret catalog saying, I want that one.
That was John Laurinaitis, wasn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah.
So, but,
I can compromise with you on that one. She wasn't an in-ring talent, but she could have been used well in terms of other capacities.
Beautiful, exotic, clearly has no problem taking certain photos. So
I see that. I see that.
You do. Hold on, let me just go ahead and click save.
Anyway, okay. All right, well, that's interesting. Next up, Kurt Hawkins.
Man.
Let's see. He was the leader of the mid-card mafia.
Yeah.
Former tag champion.
You thought Zack Ryder was buried. Look at
woo woo woo.
I love his theme song.
Fuck.
I was singing it before we started filming the podcast. I love Zack Ryder's theme song, but no, Kurt Hawkins, decent talent. I never really saw anything special from him. I remember, when it was when
the
NXT,
Edgeheads.
Yeah, he was an Edgehead. He was one of the major brothers. When NXT was still, a thing where the fans would vote in the next big WWE star.
Right.
I remember him having some pretty good matches. I believe he was a pro. I'm not 100% sure on this, but I remember him and Tyler Rex having a couple pretty good matches with Yoshi Tatsu and Tyson Kidd. Those were pretty good back and forth matches. But Kurt Hawkins, I haven't seen him on air in forever. He's just another case of JTG. He's just another guy who got buried. But unlike with some of the people on the list, never really saw too much from Kurt Hawkins.
That's kind of my thing as well. I don't really have an opinion because I haven't seen too much from him. I can't say.
I can go a little bit up. I can say, Drew McIntyre had this great match. JTG had some pretty good matches. I can't remember a single Kurt Hawkins match. I can remember Zack Ryder having some really great matches, but Kurt Hawkins can't remember a pretty good like a particular match. Him.
How about you, John Allen?
You know, I can't say I've seen a lot of his stuff outside of the Edgehead stuff and teaming with Zach. So unfortunately,
that's it. You go.
Yeah, I'm not really in a position. I mean, granted, that's pretty much most of the only things that kind of stand out that they gave him. Perhaps. I mean, I know I'm reading that he teamed up with Tyler Rex, but then I couldn't really tell you a lot about Tyler Rex, unfortunately. So
yeah.
So I'm not informed enough to make an opinion. But you know, good luck to him. He's still young, and I wish him the best.
Oh yeah. Most definitely.
All right, next up, Camacho.
Okay, let me go off on this one.
Yeah,
Camacho,
you're gonna have to go off on Camacho
because apparently Justin doesn't recognize the name. John, do you recognize his name?
Pulling not so much the name. I'm pulling up his picture right now. Doesn't ring a bell.
So, let me just say this: back when there were two Sin Caras, like there were two Doinks, Sin Cara Blue and Sin Cara Negro. When Hunico lost his mask as Sin Cara Negro, they gave him this gimmick, a Cholo gimmick. He would come out to the ring, say Cholo-inspired promos, and he would come out to the ring riding on a beach cruiser.
But he wasn't Hunico. He was Hunico's partner?
Yes, he was Hunico's quote-unquote bodyguard. He would actually drive the beach cruiser.
Oh, God, I know who you're talking about now.
This is another case of potentially somebody who could have had talent. I can't remember a single match the man had, I'm sorry to say. I'll probably look it up later on YouTube. But, yeah, I'm just going to say this right now. It's just another case of another racist gimmick trying to bring in new talent that way. The thing is, that doesn't always work. Case in point, with a lot of guys, this to me was...
Not everyone can be lucky like Conan was.
Pretty much. When those guys were on, I saw them for the first time. I believe I watched like half a promo. I was just like, I'm done. And I clicked off the TV of SmackDown and just went ahead and went to read a book.
Lasted about 3 years, looks like, roughly. 31, still time to reinvent himself if he wanted to go that route. He is from Florida originally, so if he wanted to go to a certain other promotion, I'm sure he'd know the area pretty well.
Yeah,
he'd know the area pretty well, and you know what? That promotion's no stranger to Latin gimmicks like that.
All right, next up, Brodus Clay.
Brodus Clay. Did we miss one? I got one on my list.
We did miss one, but here's the thing. He wasn't a wrestler, so I'm going to put him in the back.
Okay, Brodus Clay.
I never liked Brodus Clay ever.
Really?
I never dug the Funkasaurus thing. I mean, sure, it was a fun gimmick, but I don't know. It just reminded me of a not nearly as cool, too cool Rikishi. That's when they used to do the dance battles and shit. That's all it reminded me of. But it did nothing for me. Brodus Clay never did anything for me, so I was just like, eh.
Somebody call your mama. Come on.
Somebody call mama. Yeah, I don't care. Like, I never cared about Brodus Clay.
Here's the thing. I don't blame you, but if you watch some of his other stuff when he was on Funny once again, NXT, the man was a brutal submission machine. He actually called himself, I think he was I believe he was the Tongan submission machine. So, something along those lines. But he was just a bulldozer in the ring. He would just mow down everybody. He wasn't just a big man who did power moves. He was doing Taz style suplexes, T-bones.
We need another Taz.
He basically was a giant Taz. And what's the gimmick that they give him? They give him this Funkasaurus gimmick, not really letting him shine technical and physical wise. I mean, he did that for a little bit when he was Alberto Del Rio's lackey, but other than that, he wasn't showing anything.
It was a nothing. His gimmick was an absolute it just fell flat for me.
It was wasted talent on WWE's part. Literally same case as the rest of the guys. I hope you do well, and if WWE ever looks you up again, I hope they actually have some sense this time, because obviously they didn't have it this time around.
I liked him. The Funkasaurus thing was stupid. Obviously, it wasn't marketed towards me, and because I would just sort of subconsciously and instantaneously tune out when it came on. It just wasn't my thing. That's more for the people who want to watch mindless shows like, Operation Repo and stuff like that, where you just sort of tune out, look at the booties, and that's it. But I like his look. I think in an era where every other guy is either like, a little snarky hobbit or an underwear model looking guy.
Yeah,
Here's a dude. Here's an inked up guy that had sort of a King Kong Bundy sort of look to him, and it was refreshing. Yeah, it was refreshing to see the fat guy come back.
Yeah.
I didn't even so much mind the fact that he was fat. It was just what they stuck him with.
No, to me, like I said, this guy had the potential to be a brand new Taz for the WWE, another King Kong Bundy, just a big dude who can wreck on so many levels, and they just dropped the ball.
And well, they clearly saw something in him. I mean, he's there for like a cup of coffee, but he was in that atrocious Scooby-Doo thing for a minute. He got one line. He had his pink hat guy moment with like, I don't know, Triple H. What do you think, Miz? So, I don't know. The point is, I think that movie was done like a year prior, so clearly they expected more things out of certain people because Sin Cara was like the second biggest babyface in the whole movie. So I don't know. It's unfortunate. I thought this is a guy who I do remember, despite not watching the shows as much lately, and I'd hope that he would have dropped the dancing thing and gone back to being a monster, and I guess that just didn't happen. So
Actually, no, he did for a little bit, but they still just
Oh, he did
dropped
do
him.
that?
Yeah, because
he teamed up with Tensai.
Yeah, the Funkettes or whatever, they all broke up. He teamed up with
oh,
Tensai.
okay.
Yeah,
I mean, Albert. I mean, A-Train. I mean, Prince Albert. What?
Shut up. So no, it was a bit of a thing. I think it was Jim Ross. He was talking about things that could have been done with a lot of these men and women who were let go, and well, sad to say, Brodus Clay just there's no real reason that has been given yet. Hopefully it was nothing big. Hopefully there was just a house cleaning, and I want to see him again. Dude was an amazing talent. Had a lot of potential behind him.
I like to see him being that wrecking machine, and going against the body stereotype. Like you have to be 6 foot something, 300 pounds, all muscle, Hulk Hogan style guys.
Apparently they were teasing. It was when he was still with the Funkasaurus gimmick. They were teasing a feud between him and Big Show, but it just never materialized.
God damn, I would have watched that.
John?
Man.
I'd have watched that. All right, next guy, Evan Bourne. He's
Dude,
been
the
here
Independents, the Independents are jacking off right now that he's back and he can do all his flippy moves and fly around
just fucking splooshing, just ropey streams all over the keyboards.
Ew.
Just breaking the monitors with how high level the impact was.
Oh, shut up. God, that is the most graphic. Anyway,
you love
Evan Bourne. I love Evan Bourne, or as Ozzy Osbourne called him that one time, Evan Braun. But
Evan Braun.
But oh god, such an underutilized talent. Like in a day where cruiserweights weren't are no longer really a thing. I'm surprised they never teamed him up with a couple other guys. Him and Kofi put on some excellent matches with each other. Yoshitatsu.
Airborne.
Yeah. Airborne was the shit.
It took them too long to pair those two together, and you know what? A faction of these guys would have been amazing, but it's just another thing of he's an indie darling. WWE has shown that they don't give a fuck about indie darlings. I mean, very few have broken through, Daniel Bryan and CM Punk being two.
That said, I gotta disagree with you ever so slightly because they did give him a good push. I mean, the slow-mo replays they would do on that shooting star press, and it deserved it. Evan, unfortunately, as I it was injuries and wellness policy stuff.
That is true.
Which derailed his push and spelled his doom. Unfortunately, he's a guy with very similar beliefs. With as let's say RVD.
Yeah.
And I would wager dollars to notice that unfortunately that factored into things. Although looking down the list, he's also one I would bring back. A very cool guy. I've known people that have worked with him on the Indies that have had nothing but good things to say about him. He'd also had a run in MTV's Wrestling Society X as Matt Sydal. So
I remember that one.
yeah, very tenured guy despite being still young, I think, right?
I believe so. I believe he's still in his 20s, like JTG and Drew McIntyre.
God, what a career to have, and he's still in his 20s.
The one thing I really want to say is I would have loved, especially with
Oh, no,
RVD
he's 31.
being-
31.
31.
I apologize. 31.
Okay, I thought he was 29.
Still low.
And still young, either way.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, I would have loved to see, especially with RVD being back now, I would have loved to have seen a program between him and that.
Right?
Just imagine the
right?
caliber of matches. I mean, what was it? It was
It's foresight, yo.
It was when I was not big into WWE at the time. I wasn't big into wrestling at all. I was barely even watching Lucha Libre. I catch a match on a Raw this one random time with my little brother, and it's Evan Bourne versus Kofi Kingston before they teamed them up. And first, it was such a good match, but it was like 7 minutes. I was just like, good God, they could have kept this going.
Yeah.
If I were over in Dixieland, I'd pick him up because I would argue that he got pretty over, and he'd obviously be just an obvious choice for the X division.
I agree. And I'm just surprised that, they kept him on payroll for quite a bit of time because he's been wrestling in WWE for like what? I
want to say
6 years?
About 6 years. Yeah, dude's been out with injuries.
Yeah. All right, next up, Yoshitatsu.
Yoshitatsu.
He can fucking wrestle his ass off, but I think we talked about this once, John Allen. Like, we were talking about learning the language.
Yeah.
Yeah, we absolutely did.
It's a big thing of him not being able to cut a promo in English. They weren't willing to give him a mouthpiece, but the dude could work his ass off. And apparently, according to Dirt Sheets, he's had a couple run-ins with Sheamus in the back.
Yoshi is the kind of guy who, if I would otherwise like him a lot. Unfortunately, I have a slight bias against him because when they were just changing the crap out of ECW around 2006, 2007, and there were marks that were saying like, no, it's still ECW because if it weren't for the Tuesday show, we wouldn't have guys like Zack Ryder and Yoshitatsu. And I was like, screw off.
Okay.
I just want Sandman and Dreamer. Don't call it ECW. We had this talk on the show and stuff.
Yes,
so there's a little bit of me that doesn't like him because of that. But here's a guy who's obviously a legit worker, a former boxer as well, New Japan Pro. I know. Was it Justin? I think you were a fan of the hard hitting style, and so he's got a little bit of that in him.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it was
Fun
one of
music.
those things, huh?
Fun theme music.
Oh yeah, fun theme music. He came out with a more serious gimmick later on of like the serious Japanese warrior.
I just wish they had teamed him up with someone like, you remember Rhino and Tajiri? That used to be
Yeah.
like one of my favorite fucking tag teams. I'm like, oh god, why didn't they tag team with someone who's like a mini tank?
Or Jimmy Wang Yang, let him come back with like an actual not jokey gimmick.
Okay, because I was about to say if he comes back as Jimmy Wang Yang,
No, of course not.
Yeah, who wore it better?
Reboot
Jimmy
the
Wang
guy.
Yang
Reboot
or,
the guy.
Dean Ambrose.
And team him.
Yoshitatsu and Brodus Clay, that would have been an impressive team, but then again, it's just one of those things. Hindsight is 2020, and these men did not have any foresight for him.
All right, so that was the wrestlers. The
Well,
next
Yoshi,
three.
one more note. One
go
more
ahead.
note on him. I don't know. It's like he's. I don't know. Would you guys bring? He's 36. I don't know if I would bring him back. I would because he can still go and he doesn't look like he still looks like he's in his 20s by the grace of his genes and such.
I would bring him back. I would definitely bring him back. But like I said, I would probably try and put him in a good tag team with like someone who's like a mini tank.
Oh yeah, because to use him as advancement talent is such a waste.
Yeah.
Either that or you don't put him to train the new kids. Because a man who can go like that definitely has some knowledge to pass down.
Good feud with Tyson Kidd too. Honorable mention for that.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
will
right,
actually
that's right.
put that out there. I agree with you 100% on that, John Allen. Though I believe it was a series of 4 or 5 matches on NXT and Superstars. Those were 5-star quality matches. Those should have been up for match of the year.
Yeah. All right, so these were the wrestlers. These next 3 are not wrestlers, so I'm just going to list them in like orders of importance, I guess. Mark Harris, a referee.
Okay. Sorry to see you go.
I'm sorry you lost a job, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's That's the name. It's unfortunately it's a thankless job sometimes being a referee. I mean, we can't invest in you too emotionally.
You can't all be Earl Hebner, guy. I'm
You
sorry.
can't all be Earl Hebner. You can't all be
Nick
Nunzio, who's now a
Patrick.
referee.
Yeah,
Lil
or
Nate.
Mike Chioda or whatever. But,
Danny Davis.
Yeah, dangerous Danny Davis. Next up,
Or you can't be a Teddy Long, who was also sadly let go.
I was gonna read that off him last.
Oh, sorry.
But okay, so Teddy Long,
Sorry.
who's I will say he's been in the business for quite some time. Ref, manager, general manager. So
One of their few ties to the old WCW.
yeah, absolutely. And
Managing Ron Simmons and help me out here.
he's
The team was
go ahead.
Doom. The team was Doom, Ron Simmons and
Oh god.
come on, you guys.
This is hurting me now. I should know this. I was the WCW guy. I should
you
fucking
Butch
know
Reed.
this. Butch
Butch
Reed.
Reed.
The natural
Yeah.
Butch Reed. Thank you.
Yeah.
If you talk enough in Jesse Ventura voice, you're Butch Reed, then it comes back to you.
There you go. But yeah, so Teddy Long it's one of those things where you've had a very long career. So, I mean, I'm sure he's probably not hurting for cash right now.
The Undertaker.
The Undertaker player. Holla, holla, holla.
I just remember that.
Yeah.
And listen, player, holla, holla. It's
Yeah.
just that's iconic. Like if you ever were a bad guy, you're gonna go one-on-one with the Undertaker.
You know what I loved when they first brought him out as the SmackDown general manager? He came down to the ring, and Booker T was just all smiles. Because Teddy Long had just gotten off a gimmick of where he was only managing black wrestlers. He was just like, the man is trying to keep us down, so I'm going to manage these men to success. So
Yeah,
Booker
that's
T's
right.
just all smiles, and he goes up to him, he's just like, what are you smiling at?
What was he was there was somebody he was managing like when he came in around 2002, like the White Boy Challenge. And it was a guy who like wasn't even like, you know, not to be, this is gonna sound like semi-racist, but like he looked a little bit more like he was Hispanic in a sense. Do you remember the guy?
He's Jazz's husband. I forget his name.
Rodney Mack.
There you go.
Rodney Mack. Yeah.
Oh god, fucking Rodney Mack.
Hold up, you're doing this. I know you have announced the next one, then I can make a point on this.
Okay, the next and final person to be let go is Josh Matthews.
Okay, so you're gonna, in terms of importance, you're rating Josh Matthews over Teddy Long?
No, fucking John read Teddy Long before I could say Josh Matthews. John
okay.
ruined
I
the
was gonna-
spot.
Sorry.
Shit.
Well, here's the thing. We were talking about refs. I figured, okay, well, Teddy's a ref.
Yeah, and you
Nothing
missed the...
against Josh, but I mean nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you ruined the spot, John. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, so Josh Matthews is gone, guys.
Josh Matthews, who was a really good, he was a good play-by-play guy on NXT. He did some decent work on ECW. He was a pretty good backstage interviewer.
He's no Joey Styles.
He's no Joey Styles, but you know what? The kid had potential. He was going in there. He didn't mind taking bumps, especially since he was actually on the first Tough Enough.
Yeah,
The dude even had a match against Booker T. He was teaming with Booker T. He was going against JBL and Orlando Jordan. And guess what? He
Well,
picked up the W in that match.
I remember that.
Let's go further back than that, man. This is a smart kid. This is a kid who was the runner-up to Maven and Nydia in the first Tough Enough, way back when, 2001. So obviously, you know, his goal was to be a wrestler. And being the size he was, obviously he could pull off some athletic stuff. And they said, hey, how about you, we don't want you for that, but how about we bring you on as a backstage interviewer guy? And, you know, just committed to it, made it work, and had a career that lasted 12 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
12 years.
12 years, absolutely. Yeah. It's actually 12 years, yeah. Because Maven came out in 02.
I don't know what he was making, but I'd imagine that to work for WWE and be an on-screen talent for that long, he probably did pretty well for himself.
Yeah, I'd imagine he's not hurting either.
No. I remember back in NXT, he was announcing with Matt Stryker. He was like,
I love Matt Stryker.
He was the king to Matt Stryker's JR. It was great. They made a good team. I'm sad to see him go. Hopefully he does well in his next career path.
All right.
Yeah, and if he decides to go into the Indies, this could be his chance to finally be a wrestler if he still has that itch. He's only 33, And, he got some good, solid training. Of course, you can't help but learn when you're in the company that long. So, God, it could be really interesting to see what he does next. That could be the sleeper of the bunch in a maybe.
Yeah.
As far as, like, what could come from it.
All right, so that was all the releases.
The comebacks.
Best of luck, Josh.
Yeah, good luck to you, Josh. All right, here's the comebacks. I'm going to start from shitty to awesome. So let's start with great fucking Khali.
Nobody cared.
Congrats.
You squashed Damian Sandow. Who was cosplaying Vince McMahon.
Hey, wait a minute now. To be fair, he didn't squash Damian Sandow. Damian Sandow got squashed by the corporation of Vince McMahon and company because he was Magneto. He was Daniel fucking Boone.
He was also Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, he was Abraham Lincoln. So, no, it wasn't Khali's fault. No, Khali's biggest problem is the fact that, like, one.
He has no knees.
Yeah, well, no. Dude can't speak. One, that's like, he talks worse than Sylvester Stallone if he was having a stroke. Two, the dude, like, he can't work. He just can't work. Like, he's not like The Undertaker, who's a big guy who can, like, make anybody look good. No, he's just like this. He's just like a brick. Like, he's just a zombie. He's a zombie.
No, he's not even Frankenstein. I can't compare him to that because Frankenstein is awesome.
And I can't remember a single Khali match that I remember that I was like, that was cool. The only thing I remember when he came in, there was that Punjabi prison match. Well, it wasn't that great. I just remember, a new match type. Cool, I guess.
You know, when he came out, I actually thought he was Giant Gonzalez. I was just like, holy shit, they're bringing him back.
No, if I had thought he was Giant Gonzalez, I'm like, man, Giant Gonzalez fell on some hard times, yo. Look at him. I think he might have had a stroke. What the fuck? Why would they do this to Giant Gonzalez?
Well, at least he's out the furry diaper.
All right. John, what do you think of Khali's return?
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not really a work... Well, I'm not a work rate Nazi. I'm not. But he kind of just doesn't do anything for me. When he first came in, like most, I was like, wow. Like, he's as big as Big Show, but he's flipping cut. I didn't care about the fact that he couldn't talk, but then with the whole... Is he still doing, like, the face dancing gimmick thing?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Then I just don't care. I'm sorry. That's not a nice thing to say, but I don't care.
All right, moving on, because none of us care either. We really don't.
I honestly... No, they used him so sparingly, that I honestly didn't even know he was gone. Again, that comes from me having missed the shows. That comes from me having missed the show so much, but it's one of those things where I don't mean to, but I subconsciously just tune out.
Yeah, I think the last time he was on air was the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, and then after that he was just boop gone.
Yeah, who cares though? Oh. I'm of that mindset. I fully agree. Let's go next to AJ.
Very surprising with all the multitude of rumors that have been going on that she had heat because she's dating CM Punk, that she was pregnant,
she's married,
that she was a head case backstage, and yet here she is. Awesome.
I just hope they don't throw her the belt, like...
Oh, they did.
What?
So basically, this is what happened on Raw, because I watched Raw. AJ came out, made a surprise return. Everybody chanted CM Punk at her because it's no small rumor, and it is in fact the truth, that she is now married to the man. They got married on her time off. Apparently, she came out, issued her re-challenge. Paige was just like, no, I don't want to. She polled the fans, and the fans said yes, and Paige is just like, son of a bitch. So the match started. Paige was dominating, giving out headbutts and the like. AJ put her in the small package. 1, 2, 3, done and done. Killed her run, and they might be turning Paige into a heel after this, which
fucking
who knows?
Bullshit. That is so fucking weak.
How do you think I feel? I actually like AJ, and when I saw that, I was just like, and I'm done.
Like, you couldn't have even thought of a weaker way to go about it. Like, that's the epitome of bullshit. Paige is actually really fucking good.
Just,
she pulled a Batista.
Yeah.
I mean,
she's like, hey, that's my title, and come this Sunday, I'll be needing it back. Or, congratulations, I want my rematch. She pulled that crap.
No,
Yeah.
Maybe
she
not
also-
her. I know she doesn't call the shots, but I mean, like,
That's the way the storyline goes.
They did Paige like they did Christian. You know, okay, oh, you had the belt. That's great. We want to put it on this person. Good luck with that.
That's like salty grapes.
They
Like,
could have had such a great grudge match, and hopefully that's what they're building to at Battlegrounds, which is WWE's next pay-per-view. But Lord only knows.
all
and
right.
between that and another crappy, tired Cena title win, ugh.
Yeah, this is just great. No wonder people aren't keeping the subscriptions to the network. It's not like getting free pay-per-views isn't worth it if the pay-per-views suck.
Right.
Anyway, moving right along. The Miz.
He was gone? Again.
Yeah, he was gone. He was filming the Marine 4 or something.
There's 4 Marines.
Again?
Yes.
Wasn't he already in one?
Yeah.
They made a 4th Marine.
Yes. Yes, they did.
Oh my god.
Well, remember, they just give the Marine because they think, oh, well, John Cena made a thing of it. Maybe somebody else can. I mean, look how good it worked for Ted DiBiase Jr. Oh, wait.
I'm gonna gag. It was never good to begin with. It's like they're so afraid to try anything else. That's
I
just,
mean-
bleh.
Yeah, so,
Is he a
yeah.
face or a heel?
He came out with heel heat. He came out to some cheers, though. I was really happy about that.
That's just because we have that weird internet crowd that still loves the Miz.
I'm one of
Well,
them.
it's
I do
return.
like
It's the
Miz.
return pop. It's the welcome back pop. I'm sure
Yeah.
that's what it was too.
I like the Miz. You know, he hasn't had the best matches lately, but I like him. He had some pretty good stuff with John Cena and Randy Orton. It was good to see somebody else at the belt at the time, but let's face it, he comes out and he gets squashed immediately by the true hero of the returns on Monday. Justin, if you could read off the name.
Chris Jericho, which I'm actually happy that Chris Jericho's back.
Nice. How could you not be?
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
Jericho.
it's Jericho. Like,
I mean-
I don't feel like I need to super sing a buttload of praises because Jericho's been paying his dues forever. Like, the dude can do no wrong.
So it's hilarious. He comes out, Miz talks about it. He's just like, what, are you going to cry for 10 minutes and run around in your sparkly little jacket, which, of course, Chris had on. Wink, wink. Nice. I wonder where he got that idea. How, John? So Chris Jericho immediately takes off the sparkly jacket and just gives a great knee to the mush to the Miz.
Save us from the mediocre wrestling, Jericho.
So
Yep.
as Chris gets on the mic, he's about to go do the old school. He comes back with some face heat, which I'm happy about. Comes out. He's about to say, Raw is Jericho. But wait just 1 minute. Here come the Wyatts.
Ooh.
So it looks like they brought him in. Hopefully he can give Bray the put over that Bray's been needing, because they've been every single time Bray's been up against Cena. You know.
Well, Jericho can make anybody look good.
And the fact is, Bray is already good. Bray's
Yeah,
already
yeah.
great. So with Jericho in the mix, that should be an interesting
It'll be
feud.
perfect. It'll actually be
That'll be
that's a
fun.
match made in
That'll-
heaven.
That'll be worth watching. The only two things I might have changed if I'd rebook those double returns back anyway. One would have been like Jericho squashing him, and then like Miz's return is all of 10 minutes. That'd have been great. Like, like he beats him, and like only one of us can have this spot in the company. They only have room for one comeback, and we gotta whoever wins gets it, and Jericho wins. That'd have been nice. Or he gets mauled by the ghost bear that was haunting WWE City, and Scooby-Doo had to try and solve the mystery. That'd have been great.
God damn it. We don't talk about the ghost bear from
No,
Scooby-Doo Wrestling
it's that
Edition.
Yeah.
that awesome Ghost Bear, the one that Ghost Rider fought in the comics and Marvel. Oh yeah,
That'd have been
That awesome
fine,
Ghost Bear.
man.
yeah.
But hey, it's Jericho
great to see
beating
good-
the crap out of Miz, so I can't hate it too much.
Yeah, neither
Except that the
can I.
Miz was there.
Oh,
But if anyone deserved to get the crap beat out of him, the Miz is a good candidate.
Yep.
like the Miz.
Very good candidate. He is so stale and so tired, and you know it, John. You know this.
Yeah, John
Miz?
Allen already knows.
Yeah,
it.
the Miz.
John Allen already knows.
I'm not a big fan.
Neither am I.
Whatever.
But that's it for the returns and the releases. Anything you guys want to say before we wrap this up?
Yeah. I would be. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Quote, comment, subscribe. Let's hear what you have to say on some of these thoughts.
Yeah, let's see some multimedia action from you guys.
Think you can do better, you bastards?
Who would you leave behind, and who would you take with you? Who would you bury?
I would bury El Presidente and up El Dandy.
Fuck you.
El Dandy
Fuck
would
you
get
right
put
where
over.
you
Hey,
stand.
now wait a minute, John. Wait a minute. I think he's got a point there, because who are you to doubt El Dandy?
Who are you to doubt El Presidente?
El Presidente!
I don't even know how you afforded that T-shirt. You need to get a haircut and whatever else SoCal said.
I actually got a free T-shirt from Venom and Extreme Parka.
I got a free elbow pad.
It does not. The T-shirt doesn't fit me, but thank you guys. That's awesome. You guys are the shit.
You forget that John is like a behemoth.
Well, that's cool.
But anyway, yes, that's all the time we got for today. I'm Justin Garcia. This is Jonathan Chavez, the Latin Sex Machine, and the John Allen. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, and do everything. And stay refined while listening to Tea Time with Bodyslams.
JohnAllenComedy.com. Catch you later, guys.
Peace, bastard.
Bye.
Have a wonderful evening.
Tea Time with Bodyslams.